Hello, my name is Randolph Kershane, and I'm one of the co-directors and the interim executive director for the MIT Concrete Sustainability Hub. Today, I'd like to update you on CS Hub research, but more importantly, introduce you to how that research drives a strong portfolio of communications and implementation tools that help us deliver key messages about sustainable infrastructure. As you know, our nation and the world seeks modern infrastructure that both delivers economic growth, endures extreme natural hazards and the perils of climate change, all the while being sustainable. Concrete is clearly at the center of this sustainable transition, and for more than a decade, the CS Hub has researched concrete's unique characteristics and helped define its role in shaping the sustainable future. In particular, we're changing the way that concrete is evaluated in buildings and infrastructure. What we found is that concrete's properties, its affordability, its durability, even its color, offer life cycle benefits that allow it to create lasting, economical, and efficient infrastructure, to weather storms and to minimize heat crises and climate impacts in cities, and generally to reduce the emissions of the built environment. But recently, we've increasingly sought to translate research into impact by elevating our findings into the public sphere. Specifically, we've reshaped our communications and implementation efforts to target technical decision makers as well as stakeholders that influence those decision makers, everyone from policymakers to NGOs to the general public. We've done this by demonstrating concrete's direct and indirect role in solving several critical issues. Those three issues are building a world-class infrastructure with finite resources, creating cities that are resilient to both extreme heat and natural hazards, and realizing a carbon-neutral concrete industry. One of the most urgent of these issues is how do we build a world-class infrastructure with a very finite set of resources? Our research promotes effective, sustainable infrastructure spending. Specifically, we communicate that transportation agencies can do more with less if they employ long-term solutions, if they make use of a mix of materials, and they foster a competitive marketplace. In the past, CS Hub has focused sharing these findings with technical audiences through research briefs and peer-reviewed papers. Now we've expanded that to include op-eds, media outreach, and online tools so that we can influence those that influence the technical decision makers. Through this portfolio of messaging, all stakeholders can now learn that how we spend and not just how much we spend will ultimately generate sustainable infrastructure. That sustainable infrastructure is especially crucial in urban areas as cities respond to acute challenges like extreme heat and natural hazards. In this arena, CS Hub research promotes investment in stronger, cooler construction through communications and tools that show that cool pavements can both cool cities and cool the climate. And we prove that hazard risks are underestimated and that strong construction is more valuable than perceived. Our communication efforts convey these findings to the public not only through popular media coverage, but also with online tools that allow them to explore how risk in their community is being underestimated. The result has been cascading media coverage and even meetings with municipal officials. Our newest set of messages promote how concrete is an important aspect of a low-carbon future. Perhaps the most critical issue facing the nation is reducing our greenhouse gas emissions, but a lack of comprehensive research on concrete's impacts has led to some misconceptions about its role in decarbonization. Our work fills that gap and affirms that carbon-neutral concrete is possible, that concrete can lower total GHG emissions, but to understand that, a life cycle perspective is critical when we make materials decisions. A recent CS Hub paper in the Proceedings of the National Academy found that numerous feasible strategies, including low-carbon concrete mixtures, design improvements, and even concrete's natural properties, can translate into significant emissions savings in the buildings and pavement sectors. Central to all these messages is world-class research featured in the most prominent and selective outlets. What these research efforts have shown is that if we apply the same commitment to communications as we do to our research, we can bridge the gap between innovation and implementation and shape the way in which society sees the role of concrete. Of course, there's much more work to do. In the next year, we aim to tackle several exciting new directions, including developing an online tool for individuals to see how better management of their local pavement system benefits their local community, and creating a comprehensive, audible system to track the total GHG emissions associated with the cement and concrete industries, including both emissions at the plant and, more importantly, the benefits of concrete during the use phase. We look forward to continue to work with the industry to show all audiences, from policymakers to the public, that concrete can be a part of the solution for sustainable buildings and infrastructure. Thank you.